Hello everyone and welcome back to Gorilla Tag ARG Mysteries. Now if you're wondering what an ARG is, it's basically a series that has a little bit of story and lore and mysteries about it. And today we're going to be solving a Gorilla Tag ARG, so an ARG that takes place in Gorilla Tag. So this ARG was made by Seal Monkey, and I'm actually dreading to make this because whilst all the other ARGs I've covered are pretty simple, have an easy to understand story and don't have many videos in them, Seal Monkey's is very long and very complicated, so I may get a few things wrong, but sorry Seal Monkey, I am not going to include every video. I'm not going to include videos that are useless or have information in them that are more easily understandable in another video. So let's just get into the first upload of the series, which, well, it isn't the first upload of the series, it's actually the first video in showing, so first video. So there isn't much sound there, it's just a code, and if you're wondering what that code translates to, it translates to Gorilla Tag is next, implying that there's some kind of entity who is targeting Gorilla Tag for something. And you've seen the title of the video, what it's called. This character is called the Reaper, and he's the primary antagonist of Season 1. So yeah, the Reaper is going to Gorilla Tag to do something, but we don't know what yet. Alright, next video. Alright, so in this video, in red text, who I'm just going to say is probably Reaper, Reaper asks 3 people if they know about Clocks, I think that's his name, and Watcher. Now, Clocks and Watcher aren't very important right now, they're actually important way later on, but all you need to know is something happened between Clocks and Watcher and Reaper, and Reaper wants to make sure these 3 people don't know who they is. And since Clocks, Watcher and Reaper are all closely intertwined, if they don't know who Clocks and Watcher is, then they don't know who he is, thus he can do his plan, whatever it is. Now there's a bunch of stuff in the description, which I'm just gonna, when I say something that doesn't really have any evidence, I probably got it from the description. For example, the 3 people Reaper was talking to are called Jones, Jesse, and Aaron, and they're all color coded. Alright, so now actually Gorilla Tag stuff. So basically, as we see there, Reaper goes to Jones's house and, I don't know, kills him, captures him. Point is, another thing from the description is there's an event known as the Reaping, where basically Reaper is choosing people. I'm not sure he's choosing people to kill. He might be killing people for power. I actually don't know, sorry Seal Monkey that I'm getting this wrong, but I'm just going to assume he's killing people for power. And the Reaping is him choosing who to kill, and Jones was on the list. So if Jones has been killed or captured, then we can assume that Aaron and Jesse are next. So the video is called something like, I actually forgot what it was called and I can't be bothered to search it, but it's something like I'm the owner now, like it said at the end of the video, or something like that has the word controller in. Now controller is another character who is color coded with the color yellow, and it's kind of Reaper's enemy of sorts. So maybe Reaper is gathering power to stop Controller. And as we see at the end, there's also a yellow monkey, which, well, like I said, is Controller's colour. So that's probably Controller going to Reaper to do something. Maybe it's just checking, maybe it's just threatening, maybe they have a fight, I don't know. Alright, so as we've seen in that video, there's a new purple monkey who is called April, who goes down the slide before getting knocked out, which is being knocked out by Controller, as we learn later, but that's not important for now. The point is, at the end it says, April, you were good to me, which is from Controller, but Controller is a bad guy, and he is. So basically, if Controller knocked out April for whatever reason, probably for power or something like that, then it's possibly Controller saying, you were good to me, because Controller got a fair bit of power from killing, knocking out, stealing April's soul, whatever.
The Reaper has sold his soul. The Reaper has no more control. He played his role. He had one goal, and that was to gain control. He flipped his tone. He stands alone. He stands in the unknown. He owes a throne he shouldn't have owned. He watches from above, he gazes the doves as he befriends April. He drowns in sorrow as he borrows Jones will come back tomorrow. April, you were good to us. Sometimes it's good to read backwards.
So, as we hear from that, it seems to be Controller talking about how he's in control now and how Reaper is more weak. Why is he more weak? Well, it's because Reaper seems to have befriended April, and since Reaper is usually supposed to take someone's powers and sacrifice people in order to become more powerful, but instead he's like making friends with April, it seems he's gotten a fair bit more weak, and now Controller is the one in power, leading Controller to become more of the antagonist figure over Reaper. Anyways, next video. Alright, so judging from his colour, it seems to be from the POV of Reaper, just bouncing around, testing his abilities since he's gotten weaker and he probably doesn't know what's working and what's not. So, but then he looks at the slide and remembers April, because remember, April had some kind of incident at the slide, and later, well, there was a video called The April Incident, but we'll get to that.
We are here. Talk about the ones lost their lives. Joan, Watch It, Blocks, April, and the Reaper.
Alright, so that seems to be at some kind of funeral where this guy lists off the current kill count, and yeah, we discover that Reaper, Jones are dead, and Clocks and Watchers, remember them from the beginning? Yeah, they're also dead. But you see, Reaper isn't dead. It's just kind of a part of him is dead, his good side. And now he's turned completely evil. And the 100% evil version of him, which is controlled by controller, is called Smiler. He's kind of like his servant, and he contains all the souls of the people he's killed within him. So yeah, Smiler's important later. Alright, so that one's actually pretty easy to understand. All it is Reaper seeing controller capture April and shove her down in the mines for whatever reason. Like I said, probably for power. That's just kind of what I'm assuming for when everyone does anything evil. But yeah, there's not much to explain here. Just kind of confirming what we already know, and yeah, that's a pretty easy to understand one. And bam, we're halfway through. Yay. Another 10 minutes to go. But what happened in that is Reaper basically sacrifices himself so April can kind of get some power and kind of be a bit more stronger to survive against Controller. But yeah, that's end of part 1 of the ARG. Now it's time for part 2, which is a lot better in my opinion. Okay, so this is a confusing one. But basically it's, remember Smiler I mentioned earlier? Well, Smiler's the guy with the paper bag and the scarf thingy. But point is, in that, the whole point of the video is just introducing Smiler, as he's decently important. And it's just kind of Reaper and Smiler kind of having a identity crisis as they alternate between the two. Yeah. Because Smiler's more in control, because remember, Reaper sacrificed his half of himself for good. Now, Seal Monkey, I'm sorry, I'm probably getting a lot of this wrong, but I hope I'm getting most of it right, but yeah. So in that, we see Controller take Jessie, remember Jessie from all the way back, and shove her in this basement place where Smiler goes and kills her. So that's kind of Controller's plan. Capture someone, put them in the basement, and then Smiler goes and kills them. And then their soul goes within Smiler, as I mentioned earlier. Alright, so this is a big one. Basically, Controller goes to capture Aaron, remember Aaron, and goes to put him in the basement, but then Smiler comes whilst Controller's in the basement and then kills Controller and Aaron. Then what Smiler does is he goes to the bench where Jones who somehow is still alive, chucks a big grenade at him and it explodes him into multiple pieces, freeing all the souls within him. But it's not that simple, as we'll learn later. Okay, so in this one, after Smiler blew up and all the souls were freed in sets of 2. So basically, there were like 6 souls within inside Smiler, and only 3 people came out. So each of those three people are a fusion of the 2 people. Thus, it's very hard to explain, but basically one of them, the one that the POV of the video is from, is a fusion of April and Jessie. So it's hard to explain, but basically all you need to know is all the characters are fused together in sets of 2. And the fusion of April and Jessie that the POV of the video is from goes to the mirror and their name changes to Gatekeeper. So now April/Jessie has become the Gatekeeper, who's like this neutral character who's evil but also good, but they're not important right now, so let's move on.
It's me, Salesman, Bot 69. Today, we have a soul combining machine. Right here are the plates where you stand. They are connected so it can grab your soul. And right here is the power button. It also activates the machine to start. It connects to this big box. This box is where the combined soul ends up.
Come Overwatches, I bought the soul combining machine, come try it out.
Now that the air Gaudi can finally start the reaping.
As you saw at the beginning of this video, it has SalesmanBot 69, who is a character that I created and who is very epic, as he's appeared in almost every Gorilla Tag ARG that I've helped direct or act with. But anyways, what happened in that video is Clocks and Watches, remember those 2 guys from the beginning, all the way from the beginning, well, they're important now, and basically what happens is they get put on a pedestal and fuse into one. And because the incident that happened between Reaper, Clocks and Watches is Reaper knocked those 2 out, then those 2 infused into a new character known as Elemental, as we see in the next video. And we are done. Now if you want to see what happens next in the AIG, or any of the videos that I missed out and didn't show, then feel free to watch Seal Monkey's channel. I'm probably going to forget to put a link in the description, so Seal Monkey, just comment on this video saying, oh the AIG thing's here. But yeah, please subscribe if you've made it this far. I doubt anyone has made it this far because the average view duration is 2 minutes. But yeah, thanks for watching.